Hi guys, welcome to Meeple's People Circus. Today I am playing the Awful Orphanage by Workhouse Games. Today is going to be a rules, how to play, and me having a quick game myself. I'm doing the how to play because I've seen a lot of people have been playing the game not wrong, but just making it harder for themselves. So in this video here you'll be able to find out all the exact rules. I've actually spoken to Workhouse Games and they've cleared up some of the questions and what I've seen people doing slightly wrong, and personally what I've played wrong myself. So to start the game, you place your dining room hall tile, your attic bedroom and Miss Pendergast's office into the spaces that are marked on the board. You place the 3 loot tokens into the dining room hall, and the other 2 rooms do not receive any loot tokens. So to start off, you each roll, every person playing rolls a dice to see who goes first. Whoever gets the highest number will choose the first. Will choose the character first. So they will choose a character and then take 1 hall tile. 3 hall tiles and 1 room tile, and then the next person, so on and so forth. I am playing with my 2 favourite characters in this game. I am playing with Alice and the Prof. So to get the rest of it ready, you go through the special ability cards for your characters. Some characters do have 2 special abilities, so you choose the one that you want to use for your character. So for me, I like using the one for Alice and the Prof. I like using the one where they can move through walls as a special ability. I will go more into special abilities in a bit, so I put them to one side. I will quickly show you actually on the camera. So that's the Prof's special ability, and then that is Alice's. Alice does have a second special ability, so one of them is to move through the wall. The other is, once activated, counts as a pink glowing tile, so it's a get out of free jail sort of card if the Gaunt and Sinister Man is after you. So to set the cards up for the game, you need to, if you're playing co-op or against each other, if you're playing co-op, you will shuffle in the green cards that have co-op written on the bottom, and you will take out 5 cards. So one of them is the drop 'em in, Butterfingers, It Goes Boom, Pickpocket and Itching Powder. So on the green cards there is a Itching Powder card. I will show you that here. They are slightly different. So the blue Itching Powder one is to use on a player you're playing against, where the green Itching Powder card plays on an orderly. So we will shuffle them into the deck. I will do that in a minute. And then you need to put your talisman cards in. So there are 4 talisman cards. So on a 2 or 3 player, you will place 2 cards in. So the standard rule normally for this is you place in the number of players minus 1. Obviously on a 2-player game you don't, and when you're up to 6 players you only can place in 4. So you place in 2 of the talisman cards and you shuffle the deck. I'll be back in a minute and I will be back with a shuffled deck. Hi, welcome back. Oh, I'm back. So I will go through some of the other rules. So I've shuffled all the cards into the deck. I will place them there. Hopefully you can see them on my above camera. I will work out the first player in a minute. So as the one rule that I've noticed I've seen people play is when they place hall tiles. So when you place hall tiles, I've seen a lot of people will only place an open space to a door. So you don't have to do that. That is kind of, let's find a corner tile. That will make your game harder because it will give you less options. So I've got a dead end here, so I could place that onto the attic bedroom and the door will let me go through. So what it does, it creates the door in the wall. So I've spoken to Workhouse Games, and that's how they see the game being played. So you don't have to use an opening to be able to place tiles. So it does make your game that little bit easier. As well, you can use rooms for the same. So I could place a room on this tile here, and it would create a door here. So that gives you the option. And I've just seen what tile I've got, and I'm going to have to reshuffle that because there's another rule. It's an optional rule, but I will explain to you in a minute. So that will create a door in the wall, so it will give you more options. So you don't have to. So you can connect up rooms to rooms. I must admit, I didn't play that at first. I did it so you had to connect into hallways, but I spoke to Workhouse Games today and they told me that that's how they see it being played. So yeah, it just makes your life a little bit easier. It gives you more options, so you won't be stuck altogether if a bad tile comes out very quick. So I'm going to quickly shuffle these up and put that in. Actually, I will not. I will explain another rule again. So this is an optional rule. So if you draw the Orderly's Rest Room or the Gaunt and Sinister Man's office, I play it, and it is an optional rule. It is, again, speaking to Workhouse Games, it's how they see it being played, but it is optional. So you can, or the way I play it is, as soon as you draw the tile, it gets placed onto the board. So you do not hold it in your hand, because otherwise then you kind of can keep it back till the end of the game, and it makes your life very, very easy. Where for me, as soon as I get it, I place it, not part of my actions or movement or anything, it just goes straight on the board, and then I draw another card. Same as the Gaunt and Sinister Man room. So it instantly makes that game a little bit harder. It's an optional rule. I personally prefer it because I'd rather the fact that I would rather the game that a little bit harder. I like a challenge in the game. This is quite a light game, so I would rather that option of the challenge. So again, another rule. It's about the creepy clown kid. So once he is on, once you draw his card out the deck and you place him in the location, he will always move towards the Gaunt and Sinister Man room. As soon as he hits a pink tile, let me hope, yeah, perfect. So as soon as he lands on one of them, or goes past one of them, he will be taken off the board. Same as the Gaunt and Sinister Man, he cannot pass through these, but he can pass through walls. He doesn't need a door because he is a spirit stroke, yeah. So I will show you as well with the creepy clown kid. If you ever roll this dice, you will instantly remove him from the board. Again with with this face, if you roll that with the Gaunt and Sinister Man, he will be sent back to his chamber or taken off the board, depending on if his room's there. And then the orderlies, if you have rolled a cup of tea, you send them back to their room or take them off the board, again the same. If an orderly or the Gaunt and Sinister Man ever lands one tile away from the attic bedroom, so if they finish their turn on this space here, they will instantly be sent back to their room or the dining room hall, all depending on what is on the board. So yeah, it just makes that things a little bit easier. The bad guys, the orderlies and the Gaunt and Sinister Man, will always head towards the closest orphan, depending on counting the tiles depending on how they get there, because obviously if the Gauntlet Sinister Man can't reach a location for a pink tile but it works out closer to another orphan, he will always go to the one that isn't through the pink tile because he cannot pass through the pink tile. Trying to think, that you have to play the game you have 4 action points each person. So I'll go back a bit. So at the start of the game you will all have 1 room, 3 halls. So once you place your 3 before your first round, you end up having to place all your tiles, your room and your 3 hall tiles onto the board. Every player does that, and then it goes back to the first player. Obviously they draw back up to their tiles, and then once they've drawn back up to their first tiles, they place up anything up to the 4 tiles they have in their possession. So you can only put 1 down as part of your free action. Once you have connected up to Miss Pendergast's office, or Pendergast's, you can optional place tiles. I played this part wrong on the rules. I used to say that you have to charge, well, it has to cost 1 AP to place the tiles once you connect it. That isn't true. It will still be a free move, but it's an optional free move. You can, as a second move, spending one of your action points, spend an action point to place another up to 4 tiles onto the board. So each orphan has 4 action points. So with them action points you can move, you can pick up loot tokens, you can place extra tiles, or you can play stuff cards. So once you have used up your 4 actions, it goes on to the next person, unless you draw a Orderly or the Gauntlet Sinister Man out of the stuff card deck. As soon as you draw an Orderly or the Gauntlet Sinister Man, you will instantly lose all your AP, and that is including other orphans that are in the room. So if there's 2 people in the room and the orphan who's going first draws the Gauntlet Sinister Man, they both lose their AP for that round. So the second person will not get to move or do anything. So the whole point of the game is to try and head towards Miss Pendergast's office. So once you have got a talisman from the stuff deck, you will head straight to Miss Pendergast's office, and the orphan that reaches there first will win the game. Obviously, if you're not playing co-op, there are trick cards to stop. There are there's one really high power card in the deck that seems really overpowered, but it is meant to be that way. I will hopefully draw that from the deck during this game, and I can show you how to use that card, or what the card is. I think that is every rule. I will play through the game, and if I have forgotten any rules as I'm playing, I will mention them as I'm playing. So let's start. I'm going to roll a dice for each orphan. So I will start with my personal favourite, Alice. So she has rolled 1, and I can guarantee the prof is, yeah. So the prof will go first for me. So what I'm going to do is put the number 1 token underneath the prof, and then I will have my room tiles like this, so I know whose room tiles. Hopefully you guys can see them. If not, I apologise. I have actually not checked the locations on the camera. I think you should be able to see that from my above view. So the prof gets to go first, so he will look at his room tiles. So he has got 3 straight tiles, so he's going to bring that down. Obviously, if I had the option, I wouldn't really want to play this yet, because there's only 4 of these cards in the deck, and you want them spread out as possible, because as soon as the Gauntlet Sinister Man comes on, that is your safe space. So I will put the bathroom like that. So I will draw up. So that is the profs, and then Alice's. So let's, again, I've got another rune tile that I do not like to use, but I'm going to have to. So what I will do now, I will show you. So this placement here, so I can go through this door into that door, is totally legal. That is fine. So that creates another door into the bathroom, so you've got access into that. So now every time you place a room, even the Gaunt and Sinister Man and the Orderlies, you place 3 loot tiles on it. So once your loot tiles have run out, that is it, you cannot search there anymore unless your character has a special ability where they can keep searching. So that is the only way that you can actually loot an empty room. So let's start. So with the prof, obviously I'm only going to go one way, so I'm going to go 1, 2. I am not, because I haven't placed my tiles. Straight away a mistake. So I am going to, let's bring this up here. Nope, let's swap that over. Let's place that like that, and then I can hopefully connect this up. So when you're placing hall tiles, you can place it to any room on the board. So I could even place hallways onto Miss Pendergast's office before I get there. So as long as it's touching a room, or as long as tiles are touching tiles, it's a legal placement. And then the prof, I think, will keep his room tile. So then I draw up to 3 tiles, and then it's his movement turn. So 1, 2, 3, and so so I have just drawn the rats card. So that instantly loses my last AP, so that is it. So when you, most cards you have to play at certain points in the game, so either fighting or as one of your action points. As soon as you draw a horror card, you have to place it, you have to play it instantly. So the prof had 1, 2, 3, and this uses his last action point. So that is it. So now it's Alice's turn. So she is going to try and do a beeline up here. Unfortunately, she could do that. So I am going to do that. So we will place. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is all of our actions. I will draw back up. So I need 3 and 1. I always check the tiles when I pick them up, just in case it's the Gaunt and Sinister Man's office or the Orderlies, or sorry, the Gaunt and Sinister Man's chamber or the Orderlies room, because then if it is, I will place them instantly on the board. Right now, if I had to place them, it would kind of mess me up. I would struggle. So again, now they've both gone, it is Alice's first player, so she will go again. So I am drawing a lot of these or pink glowing tiles, or I like to call them rune tiles. So I'm trying to put them somewhere where they can actually have use later on in the game. No, let's put that one there. And place that there. Because I'm playing co-op, I am trying to help out my fellow orphan by laying tiles that will help. So then I have this. So that is Alice's tile placement. So now I'm going to take a loop. So 1, So she has just found rubbish. So they're good to have in your hand, because as soon as you get you lose a fight with an orderly or the gaunt and sinister man, you get sent back to the attic bedroom. As soon as you do that, you have to discard a card. So it's always good to have a bit of a rubbish card to discard. So I will place Alice's cards there. So her next action will be that. So she has got a cricket bat. So discard this card during a scrap to add 2 to your scrapping value. That is really good. And then her final will be, oh, she's still got one more action point. So she has got the catapult. So discard this card during a scrap to add 1 to your scrapping value. So I haven't mentioned it. So the scrapping value. So all orphans have a standard scrapping value of 4. So it's 4 plus whatever the dice roll. Orderlies have a 5, and the gaunt and sinister man has 6. And you cannot fight the creepy clown kid. You're too scared and you run away from him. You will never be in a room or near the creepy clown kid. So that is Alice's. She's got one more action point, and I'm not going to use that, or I am actually going to use that. So my final action point, I'm going to draw up my tiles that I forgot to do, and instantly I have the gaunt and sinister man's chamber. So I am going to place it in a. I am going to place it there, and he comes straight on the board. And obviously he cannot get to me at the moment, but I will connect that up because it's a bit of a cheat. But he still can't reach my orphans because there's a glowing pink tile in his way. So he's kind of going to be. I honestly am not sure what he would do in this situation, but I'm gonna just just have him going back and forth. Or once he can't move anymore, I will leave it so he can't move. So I will place this like that, and I will place that there. So 3 more tiles. So now it will be the prof's go. I will draw back up. So for my final move of Alice, I placed extra tiles, just so she's actually got somewhere to go next turn. And I just wanted to use the extra AP up. So now it's the prof's go. So let's see what tiles. So laying tiles first off until it's connected is mandatory. So you have to play at least 1 tile. So I am going to. Do I want to do that? I'm trying to work out my best thing. I would put a corner here, but then I'm blocking off the prof being able to get up here. So I might just go with that. It doesn't really help the prof much, but it gives me options. And then I'm going to place that like that. And then we place 3 loot tokens. I will draw back up with prof before I forget, because that is the one thing I always forget to do. And now it's the prof's movement action. So obviously he's going to draw a loot. So move all orphanage employees tiles in the direction of your choice. So I should have asked Workhouse Games about this, I totally forgot. So some cards have orderlies written on, some have the gaunt and sinister man written on. I'm going with, when it says employees, even though the gaunt and sinister man isn't an employee, I'm going to go with it means him as well. If I'm wrong, please comment below and let me know, but the way I see it, it would say orderly, or it would say the Gaunt and Sinister Man like the other cards do. This says employees, so it must mean both. I don't know, it might be because there is the expansion that has another employee, but hopefully Workhouse Games or someone from there can let me know, or I'll send them a message and post it in the comments below. So I will keep that. So he's had 1, 2, and then draw another card, and Joyce, we have an orderly. So straight away, he only used 2 action points. He has lost his action points straight away. So whenever you fight with an orderly, you will do it at the end of the round. He is the last person, so it would go into fighting now. I'll quickly drink a slurp of tea. So when it comes to fighting, if there's multiple people fighting, the Gaunt and Sinister Man will always roll first. Same as movement, he will always roll first. So normally you would, for the bad guy, you would pass to the player on your left. So obviously I'm playing solo, so I will roll for both. So I will start with the orderly and then the orphan. So that is a 5. So he has 10. So the only way I can't even, I will roll, you never know. I got a 6. The problem is we are even on, we've both got 10. So on ties, bad guys, good orphans get sent back to the room. So there is a rule that I personally house rule it. So when your orderly is sent back to the bedroom 3 times, that means they're killed. I personally don't play that because I had a game where I got sent back within the first 6 rounds. I got sent back there every other round. Literally every time I drew a card, it was an orderly, it was Gaunt and Sinister Man. I was rolling poor dice and I was losing every fight, and literally I would have been out of the game instantly. So I house rule it that you don't die, because in my eyes, they wouldn't kill the kid for keeping and escaping. They would keep sending him back. They'd probably punish him more and lock him up into the naughty room. But unfortunately, it's the way I play it. You guys might play it different. So now they've gone. It is the prof's first go. So now when the prof leaves, he has got 1. He is safe for this round, so the orderly will not head towards him. So he will now head straight towards Alice. So for me, as the prof, I am going to try and do a beeline. I totally missed a movement then. I'm totally sorry. I didn't move the Gaunt and Sinister Man. Because I haven't done anything yet, I'm going to quickly move the Gaunt and Sinister Man from the last round. So he's going to only move 1. I have just realised again I've set that up wrong, so I'm going to twist that like that. So he's going to go there, because obviously he would never be able to get into the pink tile. So you guys probably caught that before me and were screaming at the screen going, "No, you've got that wrong." So I just give it a twist and now he can go out there. So yes, he only moved 1. So again, now it's the prof's go, so I will place tiles for the prof. I'm kind of not sure what I'm going to do right now. I'm not sure. I'm going to not place that. Let's place that there. So I will keep that roof and pool tile. And then I have a room. I'm going to keep that back as well. So now it is the prof's turn. I am going to just move 3. 2, 3. And I'm going to to stay there, even though he is safe this round. Actually, I'm not, because he is safe this round. The Gauntlet Sinister Man will technically head down there and just reach the end and be stuck. I don't know what would happen in this situation. I will message and find out. So, he's used all his AP, now it is Alice's turn. I need to draw back up 4 tiles, or 3 tiles, so now Alice, she has got 4 corner tiles, that is what we really, or 3 corner tiles, that is epic news. So let's just do some weird corner to corner action going on here. I think I might just waste that tile because I hate having the corners, and do a little square hallway. So I'll draw up 3. I need to check her room actually. So I just love as well with this, all just the little the artwork on the cards and just everything about it is just, they're just really quality workmanship has gone into this game. They have definitely gone to town with making sure this game is the best it can be, and yeah, I'm so happy with this. Again, I think Alice isn't going to place the room, so now it's her movement. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and she has got roller skates, so I can move a single orphan or orderly 3 tiles in the direction of your choice. So I have to discard a card to keep this. You only have a 3 card hand limit, so I'm going to discard the rubbish I have, and there we go. That is it. So it is back to Alice's turn. No, it is not back to Alice's turn. I am having a really bad moment today, so I will roll for the Gauntlet Sinister Man. He has moved 3. He can only go there. And then I will roll for the orderly, and he has rolled a cup of tea. So that means he comes off the board. He has gone on a break and gone, I can't be bothered to chase these kids anymore, I'm going to go for a nice cup of tea. So now it is back to Alice's go. So I can place way out. So I'm going to place that here and there. So again, I'm going to do that. I will draw back up my tiles for Alice and double check the tile, you never know. And it is her action turns now, so she's going to do 1. So I always take 1 loot token at a time, because if you're going to take all the loot tokens out of the room, you could go take all 3 or all 2 what I've got left, take the amount of cards, say 3 cards, and then one of them could be a horror card, and you could be like, oh, that came out last. So I always take 1 at a time, just make sure that one isn't a horror card. So, and talking of that, an orderly. So again, if I would have taken 2 cards then, I could have gone, oh, this one would have been the second card and had that extra card. It could have been a talisman. So it's just the way I play it, just to make it fair. So now it is Prof's go. 1, 2, 3. And one of his is a stuff card. And he has got a horror card as well. I like a cornered rat. So discard this card. Discard this card during a scrap to re-roll yours and your opponent's. It's not a horror card. It's a fighting card. Yeah. So now the Gaunt and Sinister Man will move. He will head straight towards the prof because he is actually in a location where he will find him. So he will go 1. Man, good rolls with the Gaunt and Sinister Man today. I normally roll 5s after 5s and it's just like, oh. So again, I don't know if this is a roll, I will quickly mention it. I class the dining hall as 1 tile, so I will only move 1 space through it. It might be wrong. Again, if Workhouse Games can let me know in the comments, or someone can, I will greatly appreciate that. So now I need to scrap with the orderly. So I'm going to possibly add the scrapping cards, but I'm going to roll first to see what I get. So the orderly rolls first. So he has got 9, and Alice, she has got 5, 6, 7, 8. There's nothing Alice could do. She would lose that fight no matter what. So she gets sent back to the attic bedroom, and I have to discard a card. It's going to be roller skates. So it is now the prof's turn. I was just trying to work out what I'm going to do. So the prof has to place tiles. He is probably going to start trying to make somewhere where he can get the hell out of Dodge. And we're going to do another room like this. I'll probably make my life harder by putting the doors at the bottom here, but it's just the way I like to play it, and I have just seen instantly that the Orderly's rest room has come on the board, and I have noticed I didn't ever place tokens in the Gaunt and Sinister Man's chamber, so we will do 3 there, 3 there. The Orderlies have got the most epic rest room going. They go straight through the Gaunt and Sinister Man's chamber into the dining room hall. I know that is fine because I spoke to them today and they said that is how you can place it. So I need to draw another room tile, and then I need to place an orderly into that room. So now it's the prof's actions. He's going to take a stuff card, and he has got another scrapping card. So the Penny Dreadful. Discard this card during a scrap to stop a fight with a single orderly. So that would be quite good for him. And then we have that. Take that. And Magic Dust. Discard this card during a scrap with Gaunt and Sinister Man to stop the fight and send him back to his chamber. So I am going to keep that over what's all that commotion. I'm going to keep that. So he has still got 1 more action point. I am just going to move 1 in this location. That's cool. And now it's Alice. Again, Alice is now immune for this next round. So I am going to go 1, 2, 3 and take that. And hope. Bag of marbles. Move a single orderly or orphan 2 tiles in the direction of your choice. It may be used on your orphan. So a good little one for if an orderly or Gaunt and Sinister Man is getting a bit close, you can play that and do a runner. So now it is the movement of the bad guys. So like I say, the Gaunt and Sinister Man goes first. He rolls 2. Wow. Wow. And it's the orderlies. So, sorry, I didn't say which orderly. It was going to be this one. 1, 2, 3. So the orderlies have to follow doors, and the same the same movement applies for the orphans as the orderly, where the Gaunt and Sinister Man can go through walls, and he doesn't walls don't affect him, he can go any which way. so he would go after him in there. So I kind of have to make a beeline out of there. Fine, so roll for this one, he only moves one. So now it is back to Alice. I really want to sing the song. I'm guessing people of my age will know the song that I'm thinking of. Let's place that like that. And then Alice will eventually have more. So that is her placement. She's going to draw again. So bread and dripping. So this recharges your action point. So again, I don't think I mentioned this. I'll mention it again. So once you use your special ability for your character, you only can refresh it if you have a card that refreshes it as an action point. You cannot spend an action point to do it. You only can do it with this card. So let's discard the bag of marbles, even though it was good. Next. So tin bucket. I'm going to discard that. I've already got. If it had a scrapping value of 2, I would have kept it, but it only has 1. Yeah. So she still technically has 2 actions. I might place some more tiles to get this map out a bit more. Or yes. It's going to make, yeah, do you know what? I am going to, if I can fit all this on. If I can fit this on without messing up the board too much. So I was trying to do a nice fancy path there, but I have decided to add a room. So it makes it so the orderly can head towards Alice quicker, but I think I could do him in a fight. And it makes her life easier. So now it's the prof's turn. So he will draw back up before I forget. So I'm going to have to run like the wind for the prof. Might actually just stand and fight. So yeah, he's gonna. I should just stand and fight because I know the Gauntlet Sinister Man is going to be coming soon. But I've got the card to stop the scrap. Sorry. So I'm gonna go in there and draw the tiles. So 1. Wow. It was destined to happen this round. I have the Gauntlet Sinister Man enter my location. Wow. I was prepared. I've got the cards. I can do fine. So now he's lost all of his action points. So now it is on to movement for the orderlies. The top one, so he will move 1. This one, he will move 2. And now we're on to scrapping, so I will roll for the Gauntlet Sinister Man. So he's rolled a 5, and do you know what, I'm going to just play this card and not even bother rolling the dice. So it sends him back all the way over here. So it gives him a little bit of a break. So that is it. Now the prof is first player. Draw back up on tiles because I forgot again. As you can see, it's the one thing I always forget. So now we're placing tiles. So the prof needs to get the hell out of Dodge massively. He needs somewhere where he can go that's going to be safe. Like, let's see what room. Again, I'm going to draw loot token, bag of humbugs. So drawing a scrap, discard this during a scrap to stop a fight with a single orderly. And then that. Discard this during a scrap to add 2 to your scrapping value. So I am going to discard the re-roll the dice. Okay, so he's only had 2, so 1, 2. I have got the special ability where you can go through the wall, but I want to save that and hopefully have it to possibly win the game with one of them. So Alice is just going to accept her fate, go in here, and hopefully she draws some good cards. Fingers crossed. Let's go. So 1. She has discard this card during a scrap to stop a fight with any orderly or orphanage employee, then move the target 2 spaces away. So again, this is another one of the cards that I don't know if you can play it on the Gauntlet and Sinister Man, because it doesn't say orderly or Gauntlet and Sinister Man, it says employee. So I know the Gauntlet and Sinister Man isn't an employee, but why doesn't it just say orderly? But we will see. So